In 2024, I released my solo project that I called Ephemeral Skies. It's kind of a progressive cinematic metal with me myself on all the instruments and vocals, apart from an 8-year-old girl guesting on vocals, Alva Gavander. I met up with the producer and sound engineer Oscar Björk, who did the mixing on all those songs. He is very accurate and careful in his work and is also a metal guitarist, actually. Together, we went through all the processing of the heavy rhythm guitars for the song Winds of Time in Logic. So in this video, you'll find all the plugins and settings used on that song for the rhythm guitars. It's really cool to be able to share that and our thoughts behind it, so I hope you're gonna enjoy it. Okay, over to Heartifact Studio. So we're here at Oscar Björk's place, the Heartifact Studio guy, and we thought we should go through a guitar track that he did the processing on for me on one of my songs for the Ephemeral Skies project. So he'll go through some plugins and some thoughts of his. But before that, I thought I should go through the source.
Yeah.
How I did the guitar recording.
Yes.
And I used a Jackson 7-string guitar with passive DiMarzio pickups. And it went in through a Boss OD3 overdrive to boost a Engel E530 preamp, and then further on to impulse responses in a 2-notes torpedo. So I combined the analog world with the digital already there, and try to get the best out of both worlds.
Yeah.
And then I sent the files to you.
Yeah, I remember I got 3 different options of the guitar, the rhythm guitars.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we choose, I remember that I liked this the most.
Yeah.
But then, so we talked about that, I remember. And then you did something, you said, yeah, I think that's what I would prefer too, but I need to do. I don't know if you added the new impulses or...
Yeah, I remember. I first sent you 3 different amplifiers.
Yeah.
One Laney amplifier, one Engel amplifier, and this Engel preamp. But then you chose this one, and I agreed.
Yeah.
But then I did some change. I don't remember if I did some change with the boosting or impulse response, but it was pretty much like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's have a listen to the rhythm guitars in the mix a bit first. So, yeah. Yeah, cool. And we can have a listen to only the rhythm guitars. This song is very riff based, so it's I mean it's rhythm guitars, but it's also a riff a lot of times.
Yeah.
In the and I was actually a little surprised when I opened this project again, because I used very few plugins for the rhythm guitar, and that's a good sign, because I didn't need to process the rhythm guitars so much. So if we just have a listen to the left side here. It starts just with an equalizer that cuts off the bass frequencies, so a low cut. And also here at 200 Hertz, just to remove some muddiness from it. It's not much. It's just not even 3 decibels, but it's yeah, it does something. And then I have a compressor that works very, very subtle, almost nothing. Yeah, you can see just.
Yeah, it takes away some of the palm mutes.
Yeah, it's just smoothing things out a little bit, but it's so little. I could probably skip to use this, but yeah, I don't think it does like some magical things. This one is one of my favorite plugins. It's a transformer simulator, or it just gives some extra rawness to the signal, and I use it on multiple sources in this mix. It's also really great on drums, for example, and vocals as well. So I can bypass it and put it back on. I don't think we will notice so much difference. I feel like this just push the sound like some kind of punch, but it's a very small amount of it, but it does something. And then I have the bus processing for the rhythm guitars here, and that is an equalizer that also cuts the bass and cuts some of the highs here. You only want very special things to be up here. It's like it gets crowded very easily. So, and the guitars, they don't necessarily need to be there, just in the whole like mix perspective. And then I cut out some mud here as well. Yeah. And then there was a certain frequency here that I also needed to narrow down a bit. Not the best frequency in the world. But you can hear it if I remove this, or like... Why? It's like... Just to smoothen out things a bit. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it with the equalizer and compression. Then I use one of my favorite plugins, the Trackspacer, to sidechain both from the lead vocals and also when there is a guitar solo part, to duck the rhythm guitars at certain equalize or certain frequencies.
Very cool secret weapon, I think.
Yeah, we can have a listen to only the rhythm guitars and the vocals, and I can do an extreme setting so you all can hear what this does. So the thing here is to use it with a very small amount. I use like 8%, but I have it multiple times in different places in the mix. But this is one example of how this sidechain at certain frequencies just can give like clarity and life to like create and craft the whole overall mix.
Yeah, I think it's a very good example of where very delicate moves can do a lot for your overall sound.
Yeah.
Without taking away the core of the sounds. I still recognize my guitars. I feel like just like I felt them in my home studio when I made them.
Yeah.
So I can really feel them recognize them in the final products. I think that's very good example of that.
And if I were to increase this to just like 20%, maybe you can like not identify it or something, but the guitars would start to sound strange. So this is just about the slight amount of usage on these types of things. Another example for this is a more obvious one, where in the bass, for example, I use this to sidechain to the kick. So, if we take the whole mix. So the bass guitar like ducks the kick. It's the same principle as with the guitar. And in the same way, I do this on the solo that comes. Is it here?
There are a few of those.
Yeah. Yeah. If I were to do this, yeah, crazy much. Same principle here. It's just small amount that matters. Yeah, and that's basically on the rhythm guitars. That's it. Of course, there is a mix bus with a lot of processing, but that affects the whole mix. So,
yeah. So I think that's a very good example showing how to make room for the guitars in the mix, and make room for the other instruments, not to get them to crash, which I so much. And
and I mean, a lot of effort is put on the source tone, and that saves time in the mix, like a lot. If I were to have too many options here, which all sound good, I mean, it would have been harder. We narrow down the takes and the sound to this, and it's much more easier to work with as well. To put like the extra time in the beginning instead of in the end, when all the decision making in the mix should be done, because that can take so much time, and it's really, really hard also.
Yeah, I guess this is a tip that I have for you. If you have the possibility to contact the one who is going to mix your project, contact him and have a dialogue already when you create your sounds, what you're searching for, and what's going to suit the song the best. Then you can save a lot of time in the end, and you can get a better result.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it for this video. See you in another one. Take care. Cheers.
Bye-bye.